First at 11, though, Chief James Craig will retire as Detroit's top cop. That's according to sources. He is expected to make the announcement on Monday. Good evening and welcome to 7 Action News at 11. I'm Carolyn Clifford.
And I'm Dave LEWALLEN. Chief James Craig has been on the department as Chief of Police for 8 years, since 2013. He's worked in major cities across the country: Los Angeles, Portland, Maine, Cincinnati, and Detroit.
Well, tonight we've learned he may trade his police badge for a political run as he evaluates going up against Governor Gretchen Whitmer next year for governor. Now, many are already weighing in with what this means for him and the future of Detroit.
7 Action News reporter Simon SHAYKHET is live with the impact. And Simon, this is sending shockwaves, isn't it?
Absolutely, Dave. Carolyn, the chief has been a crime fighter in Cincinnati and Los Angeles, and yes, here in Detroit, but now it's his future everyone is focused on.
In our majority African-American community here in Detroit, the majority support the men and women who serve every single day.
After almost 8 years as Detroit's chief of police, 64-year-old James Craig could be leaving his job and retiring in just a few weeks, according to sources. Yet the mayor's office won't confirm being notified of those plans. Since his appointment in mid-2013 by Detroit's former emergency manager, community activist Pastor MAURICE Hardwick says Craig has often met with him and other leaders about important issues.
We met in the street protesting, and we decided to have a meeting and talk, and found out that the man had the same kind of vision I had, was to make the city safer and to help support the youth.
During demonstrations in the past year and rallies held by the group Detroit Will Breathe, Craig often took to press conferences and other public appearances where he would address police issues around the country, including officer-involved shootings.
He supported from day one peaceful protests and solidarity. You cannot drag Minnesota's dog in Detroit and make what those officers did what Detroit done, because it doesn't happen here like that.
What did Chief Craig do to improve accountability?
He changed the culture of the department 8 years ago. He has had a, for the most part, scandal-free tenure. He hasn't shied away from issues. He was one of the first chiefs, I believe, in the country to release video.
Retired DPD Assistant Chief Steve Dolan, a former public servant with decades of experience who worked alongside Craig, recalls his leadership style and the changes he made on the job, including launching Project Greenlight to have DPD personnel monitor gas stations and other businesses with high-quality video to fight crime. Craig also implemented use of facial recognition software, a controversial program he's defended as a powerful tool to help catch suspects.
I give him a lot of credit for that.
Yet, some critics have also spoken out against Craig, including Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who's urged him to resign, saying he doesn't speak for Detroiters. Craig has often been willing to discuss gun rights and appear on Fox News and other national networks, developing a high-profile persona. He's even been praised for inspiring actors like Denzel Washington in police roles after the two met on a ride-along in L.A. But how would that translate to a possible run for governor?
Christmas came early to the Republican Party this year. That's what I thought. Chief Craig can really win. He's got too much common sense. People would gravitate toward that. We're missing common sense. He's got it.
Obviously, he's well known in the metro region because of all of the attention from his position on multiple media markets in our area. But I don't know that he has much name recognition outside of Metro Detroit. There are still millions of Michiganders who do not know who he is.
As we've been reporting, Chief Craig is expected to shed more light on his future plans early next week. Reporting live, Simon SHAYKHET, 7 Action News.
We'll certainly be waiting.
Simon, thank you for the live report.
Once Chief Craig has moved on, the question becomes who will fill his shoes and lead the Detroit Police Department? Well, here are a few possibilities, according to sources. Current Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron. Chief Barron served 21 years with the Detroit Police Department. He retired as deputy chief. Former Assistant Chief James White could also be interviewed. White took over the day-to-day operations while Chief Craig was out with COVID-19. He's now leading the Michigan Department of Civil Rights. Craig's first assistant chief, LaShinda Stair, could also be interviewed. Stair is the first woman from DPD to ever be appointed to the rank of first assistant chief of police. Detroit Fire Commissioner Eric Jones could also be a contender. He spent 25 years with the police department. Deputy Chief Todd Bettison could also make the list. He's also been with the department for 25 years. Count on 7 Action News to keep you updated on the search for the next chief and on James Craig's plans for the future. We'll stay on top of his life and his future moves, both on air and online at WXYZ.com. Dave.